Good afternoon, WC Radio. My name is Corey Rosen, and you are listening to the Story Podcast. Today I have on a few awesome guests. We have the Big Fat Meanies. The Big Fat Meanies were voted the best rock band in central Pennsylvania. Big Fat Meanies offers a high-octane dose of horn-driven progressive rock with each impressive performance. The independent 8-piece ensemble, hailing from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, wields an onstage energy that can only be matched by the catalog of exhilarating songwriting, drawing inspiration from genres of all nature, including punk, pop, funk, metal, ska, and even musical theater. Big Fat Meanies' signature episodic songwriting archetype blends the varied musical backgrounds of each member in perfect harmony. With each performance, Big Fat Meanies presents powerful vocal lines, shredding guitar solos, and cinematic horn parts that emphasize refrains with glamorous ferocity. Their collective attention to detail shines through lyrical storytelling, captivating rhythmic structures, and sophisticated instrumental lines. The band uses every tool in their artistic arsenal to inspire feelings of both passion and catharsis. Big Fat Meanies' live performances and studio recordings offer energetic talent and a wide array of inspiration that is sure to connect with each listener in a unique way. The band has been described as off the wall, refreshingly different, and a gut punch of danceable high energy. No matter your musical background, Big Fat Meanies is sure to move you and to make you move. Their latest EP, Bad Hand, is available to stream on all platforms. Guys, how are you guys doing today?
We're great.
So good.
How
Thank you, Corey.
Of course. So let's get right into it. I know you guys are each your own person, so I'm going to start with what got you guys inspired into music individually. Brenna, you want to go first?
So I honestly I was involved in like choir and stuff all through elementary, middle, and some high school, but that was mostly it. But when it came down to picking a major in college, I was like, well, music is the one thing, or singing is the one thing that I was like, this is the only thing I've really, loved throughout it all my entire life. So I was like, hey, why not major in it? Which was terrifying when I realized how hard it was in college. But that's kind of what got me involved, and I'm glad I stuck around with it.
And so how about you, Xander?
Yeah, so in middle school, actually, I had a pretty late start to music, compared to a lot of people, a lot of students anyway. I did play saxophone in elementary school, started then, and I still do today. Not as much, though, and definitely not as well as this guy. But in any case, what really sparked my love of music was musical theater. I started doing theater camp in middle school, and from there, it just sparked this lifelong interest in music and storytelling through music. So I've been doing musical theater ever since, and somewhere along the way, I just decided to pick up a guitar as well, and taught myself guitar, and wanted to tell my own stories. The reason I picked up guitar was so I could accompany myself while I was singing, because I've always been a singer first and foremost. And through that journey, I just became a songwriter, and I found these guys then, and the rest is history, as they say.
How about you, Rick?
So I started playing the clarinet in, I think it was third grade. I'm not sure. It's either third or fourth. I know I started a year later than everyone else. But I picked the clarinet. And then by the time I was in middle school, I actually wanted to quit music altogether. I was like so done with it. I was just like, oh my God, like whatever. But we went to like my high school's marching band. The middle school got to sit in on a football game, and I was like, okay, that was really fun. So I'll do 1 year of marching band. I'll do 1 year, and if I hate it, then I'm done. I'm never picking up a clarinet ever again. So I did band camp, and then by the first day of ninth grade, I decided I wanted to go to school for music and be a music teacher. So that was really awesome. Shout out to Keith Rockley for being the guy that inspired me to do that. But then as I went through high school and everything, I was kind of like, I was going between, I was like, I want to do music, but like maybe if that doesn't work out, I'll do like math or something. But then when it got time for like college auditions and applications and stuff, I was like, man, music's really the only thing I can see myself doing from like 9 to 5. Ha ha ha, 9 to 5.
Right.
That I could see myself doing as a career or as a job without wanting to like kill myself. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do this. And then I got to college, and they happened to put all of the music majors in a hall together, Bard Hall 3B. And we would get written up all the time for like playing music at all hours of the night and stuff like that. And then eventually Sam, our lead guitar player, came up to me and was just like, hey, do you want to be in my ska band? And I was like, I play clarinet. Yeah, are you sure? Because until then, everyone was like, you play clarinet, you can't do this. And I was sad. And then Sam was like, hey, you want to do this? I was like, yeah, I do. And then we formed, and there we go. So now I'm here.
So what was the original? You guys all met in college. What was the original idea behind the Big Fat Meanies?
Oh, man. Okay. So we have said it before, so it is out there. So it's out there. So we formed as a 10-piece ska band. Our original instrumentation was 2 guitars, a bass, drummer, and a keyboard player. And then me on B-flat clarinet, someone on trumpet, on alto sax, on tenor sax, and on trombone. So we had a 5-piece horn section. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we picked Big Fat Meanies partly because there was 10 of us, and like, what the heck what else would you call a band of 10 people? But also because we were kind of a joke ska band
of 10
people. Yeah, we're a ska band of 10 people, and we were a SpongeBob cover band. Yeah, so
Hence the
our
name.
original tunes, the Big Fat Meanie, you can kind of find a lot of SpongeBob references in that. Specifically, the chorus, I believe, is entirely SpongeBob references.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the some of the original working titles, or even just joke titles for the songs on the first album, are also SpongeBob references that are just our little secret.
Oh yeah. There's one. Yeah.
we can dive into that later.
Nice.
So it started off with a lot of SpongeBob. When did it grow into something more?
I would say
it hasn't.
So
We're still there.
We remember our roots. Okay? So I would say it turned into something more around 2016 when we were starting to record, or 2015 when we were finishing up the touches on what would become The Time Has Come, our debut record. And I remember like we wrote this song called Fishin' for Compliments, and we released it as a single, and we were like, oh, Fishin' for Compliments, like lol, it still has like a nautical theme,
right,
kind of whatever. And like I was scrolling through whatever, some like Imgur or something, and I saw a picture of like an old like Mark IV like diver suit or something coming out of the water, and it was like super intimidating, mysterious, like crazy looking thing. And I was like, yo, like Sam was across from me. I was like, dude, is this like what we're gonna become after, like we're done with the SpongeBob thing, like, but we keep the nautical theme, like, is this what we're gonna be? And The Time Has Come's album cover now has 2 divers and everything. It was like kind of our central theme. So it kind of evolved from specifically SpongeBob into this nautical diver thing. But there are still references all over the place.
So how have you kept that? I see a lot of the titles per se don't lend themselves to be nautical, but has that moved on since then, or is it still?
Yes, it's definitely moved on since then.
Okay.
But yeah, I think honestly, because a lot of the stuff in the beginning was still kind of like, oh, SpongeBob references, and then I think it was just a way of like we were able to kind of twist it into more to fit that theme, and still keep a little of the old, and then it was just transitionary, I guess, into the new stuff.
I was the last member to join out of these 3 here sitting before you. So Rick was obviously one of the founding members, and then they got Brenna to join as lead vocalist. By the time they released Fishin' for Compliments, and then I came on saxophone originally to fill out the horn section at that time. I think it was 2016 that I joined, so it was probably like what 2014 for you.
Summer of 2015.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we released Fish in, I think it was 16. We released it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think,
And then fall of 16 for you, right?
and then fall of 16 is when I joined. Yeah. So as somebody who's observed the trajectory, I think, like as Rick said, Sam started the group more as like a kind of theatrical performance. It's more of like it felt like a more like nudge nudge wink wink referential kind of group, but as it transformed and the songwriting progressed and got increasingly intricate, I think everybody saw the potential there for a real group to grow its roots and have a leg to stand on. So yeah, that's pretty much what I saw. So like from 2015 on, 2016 on is when it really became a more real thing, from going from, I don't want to say a joke because it wasn't a joke. Yeah, it wasn't a joke, but just
from a more silly, a more silly to more serious.
Yeah, it's from silly to more serious.
Yeah, like going from friends from college, just like our hallway jamming and actually recording the songs that we're writing, to being like, oh well, let's take this and like play a festival. Let's do this and like play shows, play at the Chameleon Club. RIP.
R.I.P.
Yeah, definitely like doing those things. And like launch music conference and things like that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So songwriting wise, who are the main songwriters for you guys?
So Sam, our lead guitarist, he mostly writes any of like the skeletons. Just like he'll come with like a riff and then be like, oh, here's how I'm thinking of how the song will go, like verse, chorus, etc. And then it kind of like we take it and a lot of us just like add our own input and add where we want things to go, etc. And then the three of us work together on like music, lyrics and melodies and stuff like that. And then Rick mostly does all the horn parts.
Yeah, Sam will give me like, he'll be like, oh, here's the horn parts, and it's just like block chords and like root position that like
right.
You put it in a MIDI keyboard and then you just copy paste and you're like, oh, there's a major chord, there's a minor chord. So I'll take it and, knowing our section and everything, I'll like arrange it in a way that like the voice leading works or something, or how I would like it to sound, and
What's one of you guys' favorite pieces to date?
Oh man.
Well, Gatekeeper, I feel, is one of the ones that we.
Yeah, Gatekeeper's a fun one.
We talk
to
about
play or listen to, or both.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
But why not both?
Brenna, you go first.
To listen to. Shoot. That's hard. To listen to is probably, Nuke Tux. I love because like you said earlier, it sounds like an anime intro.
Yes, it very much is. We'll get around to that.
I also love listening to Eden and like all of them, because I know I recorded a lot of like little like dumb things in there that like I know they're there, but it's not really like nobody else can really hear them.
Oh, yeah,
so it's fun
secrets.
for me. But probably Gatekeeper for me, because when we had that like fleshed out and we're playing it, it felt, and even when I was recording it, it really felt like fully realized the first time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why that was my initial reaction too. That was the song that I think we all got at our input in. It's when it really it's
locked in.
Yeah. It's one that the songwriting process really worked for us, where we all had these ideas that came together and it was completely realized in a really cool way, and it packs a punch. So it's fun to play, perform, and listen to. And the breakdown at the end is so fun. I would say Gatekeeper is probably my favorite.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to listen to. My favorite is probably Bad Hand. I really like Bad Hand to listen to. Playing wise, It's not bad hand.
It's real hard.
The payoff is worth it, I think.
Right.
But it's just like, man. I think it's a tie, playing wise, between either Nuclear Tuxedo or Meet Me at the Downbeat from our first record.
So
I love
fun to
playing
play.
downbeat. And like, as one of the, I guess, founding members of the band, downbeat was like the third song we wrote, the third thing we did, and it went through a bunch of changes and iterations. But even since that first time we started learning it, I was like, oh, this one, I love this song. And I have never lost that love for that song since like 2014 or something like that. Like it's always been like, so I love downbeat.
Ooh, I want to change mine.
Oh,
My
yeah,
favorite
sure.
one to
No
play.
Rival.
takebacks. No takebacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rival.
My favorite. I'm taking back. My favorite one to play is Arrival off the
Yeah,
first
yep.
record.
What? Take it back?
Yeah.
Arrival?
All right.
That's
That's one of the lyrics.
Is that a
So
reference?
we talked about Nuke Tux. We have it lined up. What was the songwriting process? What was the story behind this song?
Oh,
Oh, this is a me and Xander one, I think.
this was this was a lot. This takes us back to February of 2019. Was it?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. February. So yeah, exactly 4 years ago.
Oh my God.
I know. Time, man. 4 years ago. I just remember Rick and I sitting in my, at the time I had a music room of my house. And we were just sitting on a couch on a little love seat together, staring at a laptop screen for hours and hours, because what we do generally is obviously we sit there and we have some sort of instrument. I'll play the guitar and he'll have his clarinet, and we can and obviously just off the dome we can come up with some little ideas or whatever that we want to fill out the song structure. But oh my gosh, just the amount of time that we spent just pounding the pavement, pounding our heads against that computer, So anyways, that's the immediate memory I think of whenever we talk about songwriting for Nuke Tux, is us just sitting there for hours and for multiple days too.
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, I have the last time the shared Nuclear Tuxedo note in my phone was edited was May 26th of 2019. So
May
at
27th,
some
2019.
point
Yep.
it was edited or something with that. But I have all of our every iteration of like notes, verses, pre-choruses, all these things. And eventually I remember us like sitting there and we were exhausted because like, we were either like still in school or we were working or doing all these things. And we're just like so tired. It's like 1 a.m. And we're like, you know what? Like Nuclear Tuxedo. And that was one of the working titles. And we kept it because we were inspired by that, like this idea of
A nuclear tuxedo.
Yeah, nuclear tuxedo, right? How cool is that? And we were like, yeah, like you dress up in this tuxedo and you like dance and there are like bombs falling and everything's going to heck.
That's a nice catch.
This is family friendly.
And like you're gonna die and like everything's done, but you don't care. You're just gonna dance your worries away. And we were like,
That's
wait
it.
a minute. That's the basis for the song.
Yeah,
That's
dressing up,
dress to the nines.
dress to the nines, and dance,
dance
to
to
the
the fallout.
fallout. So that's the final lyric in the pre-chorus before the drop. But yeah, that's pretty much where we landed, and we were like, okay, let's run with that. That is the inspiration for this song. You're dressing up for the end of the world, pretty much. You're dressing up and just dancing without a care as the world ends.
It's like the musicians on the Titanic.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Less sad.
I mean,
Let's
how else is there to go out,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I guess, I mean, not to harp on it too much, but we should say that obviously, like Brenna said earlier, the songwriting process starts with Sam, our lead guitarist, coming to us with the structure. So he gave us the structure, the rhythm, and all of the main lines in that song. And that was our scaffolding. I always call that our scaffolding. And then we'll get to work on, melody, hanging little ornaments on that scaffolding pretty much. So that's where we were in that. Yeah. And not to get too in the weeds about it, but Rick and I specifically were both going through a lot of issues internally at that time. We both had family members that unfortunately were passing or had passed right around the same time. So we were just feeling there's just a moment of catharsis and a level of catharsis that you can hear in those lyrics that really paints this picture of, embracing life to the fullest without a care in the world, because that's all, we're only here for a limited amount of time. So you might as well put on your party clothes and dance until the end of the world.
Yo.
And did you say that you have little stuff that you added in there as well into Nuclear Tuxedo?
Here and there. I mean, for me, it was mostly like melody, at the end, because the two of them definitely, put so much effort into that, and it really showed. And so it's mostly just like, what if we did this instead? Like, what if this melody went this way? Little tweaks, but
just little tweaks.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then I was like, hey, let's do this line that it's very hard for me to sing live. So really good idea on my part.
Is that the added?
Dance to the Fallout.
Yeah,
and I remember that was when we were still rehearsing it.
Yeah,
but I'll still apologize to Brenna after performances. I'm like, we're dumb. I mean,
That's not true.
we go for it. We're just like,
I respect it.
We run away with it, and we need to. We're trying to be a lot more considerate of figuring out what's doable in. Like
live,
what?
Right?
Yeah, exactly. What's tenable live? Brenna's an amazing singer,
Thanks.
and
I must say,
and they have a lot of range and a lot of vocal technique and talent. But I feel like we've
Thanks,
taken
buddy.
advantage of that.
No,
We're just like,
I
they
kinda
can do
like
this.
the-
They can do this.
Oh, well, you said you could sing this note, so let's have that note
The entire time.
No, I appreciate it. I respect it. It gives me a little push.
well, with all that in mind, this is Nuclear Tuxedo by the Big Fat Meanies. And that's what it would sound like if it was the instrumental version. So we're going to go put on the actual version.
Yeah, if we want to do some karaoke.
Yeah, we also have to play
Let's do
pranks.
karaoke live right now, right?
Oh,
Speaking of taking
busy.
advantage.
Yeah, let's show off this pipe.
I have plans. Sorry. I gotta go.
This is what it actually sounds like. That was
my favorite.
Nuclear Tuxedo by the Big Fat Meanies. What an incredible song to headline your most recent EP, Bad Hand.
Mhm.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
We like that one.
We
the
do
the
like that
ending of that switch up, that rhythmic thing. I can
It's
hear it on
great.
stage. I can find the downbeat on stage. When we listen to the recording, I'm never on the right downbeat. Like it just the rhythms confuse.
Oh, you do da da
Da
da
da da da da da da. What is it? But what is it really? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's so
Oh
confusing.
wow! It was because I noticed like even in the beginning it was like it's so tight, it's so specific, it's so synchronized, syncopated. That's the one I'm looking for.
And synchronized.
And both, yes. It's really cool. So anybody who's
you.
looking for an anime intro for that one,
Yeah. Hit us
Sync
up.
licensing is
up.
great.
absolutely.
Yep, let us know.
So you guys, it seems to be that you guys are of the old mind of albums where something has like a concept and a
Mhm.
subject and you do it that way. Tell me why.
Hmm.
Or tell me what the subject of Bad Hand is, rather. We'll do that.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the first album, so I'll go back to that first. The Time Has Come was really a concept album in its entirety, I would say, about and Rick can talk more about the subject of that. What is the
So
just
the
the
Time Has
Cliff
Come-
Notes version? Sorry.
Cliff Notes version is The Time Has Come follows the story of the diver and his pet octopus Jeff.
All right.
As they basically go through a journey of like self-discovery and stuff like that. It's kind of broken into 2 acts. I believe it'll be like the first 5 songs. Big Fat Meanie, Overture to the Character, Meet Me the Downbeat, Bad Decisions, Why'd You in the Navy When You Could Be a Pirate, Not Caring About Much, Voyager, right?
That's
Voyager's 4.
Not know
Voyager's
the
4,
order.
I think. God, I don't even know the
I'll be
order of my
honest with
own
you.
record.
This is fine.
Couldn't tell
Voyager
ya.
is kind of like leaving the place you're in to try and start a new life, fishing for compliments, lying about who you are so other people will like you. That's kind of the end of Act 1. Act 2 starts kind of with redefined, like, oh man, I'm still the same person I was, even though I tried to get away. Burn is like, oh man, maybe other people are just as bad. Solitude is the heavy one. That's the maybe I shouldn't keep going, but at the end I'll decide to stay. And then A Way Out into Arrival is kind of like I'm taking back control of my life and my choices, and I'm going to be better. And here it is, kind of a deal. But it was written at a time where we were really stressed. We were going through some stuff. We were like, there's a lot of personal stuff, specifically from me and Sam, I think, in those lyrics, and stuff, as we would start writing at 8 p.m. and stop at 9 a.m. Trying to go through editing different things, while playing Pokemon Go in the breaks, as the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, so that's that one. Whereas Bad Hand, we were inspired to just put something out there that was about love and acceptance and being better and being the best you can be. And it's The Time Has Come was the past, and those are mistakes that have been made and things like that. But working to be better and being it's okay, if you're different, if you whatever, we want to put something out there that's inclusive.
Right.
It was kind of a response to certain things that happened during certain years, like 2016 and things like that, around the world, and here.
Things like that.
just things like that.
Just things that
Just
happened.
nothing particular.
Yeah, nothing in particular. But we wanted to make sure that with a lot of hateful rhetoric that was being thrown around in the world, that we wanted to put something out as small as we were and everything, just at least for our community or anyone that would find us, that is kind of like a little beacon. Hey, it's okay.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Celebration.
We'll do this.
A celebration of self, a celebration of community.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And rejection of hate, of being boxed in pretty much.
To a corner. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm really happy you guys are putting out albums that actually are albums instead of not albums.
Yeah.
Because it's a dying art form.
Yeah,
were.
I was gonna say.
Well, yeah.
Well, we got some news for you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
No, it is, and we've always leaned that way. Obviously, creating works that are complete and have cohesive messages throughout. But yeah, that's the reality of the music industry right now, is that we need to create singles. I mean, singles are
king.
Yeah, singles are kingles,
Short form content is king right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
So we're and we take it as a challenge, as an artistic challenge. It's not like it's something that we're going to start doing begrudgingly. We're just actually we've only recently begun talking about our songwriting process again. We have a Dropbox full of ideas that Sam has pretty much produced over the past decade, essentially, and we just kind of pick and choose which ones we want to roll with. But like the intro says, we have so many different styles that we enjoy, that we all can adhere to, can play to. So we don't really have
Just like,
look at all those
the
ideas.
Dropbox.
Yeah.
Look at all those chickens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So yeah, it's going to give us the opportunity to just kind of like throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean? Just
like
but
that.
we're excited though, because we know that I think this last EP we were really trying to create. We felt like we had something to prove. I think going into it, so we were so precise and so nitpicky. Not that that's a bad thing or that that's going to change, but I think that what's up
With us?
with us
With this group of people?
I think that this next quote unquote album cycle or songwriting cycle, we're going to see a lot more of a lot more just diversity in style, but it's still going to be really true to our sound. I think we figured out that we can play whatever we want and still make it a big fat song.
Right.
So that's what we're excited to do with this next phase.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, like listening to all of these. It's like, oh, there's some ideas here, and it's like, wow, this is totally unlike anything we've ever like attempted, but it's totally still a big fat riff. Like it's 100% has
Always
the
ends up
sound.
making
We're gonna
sense.
do the thing that we do, and it's gonna be great.
And your sound is so unique too.
Thank you.
It's well, at least I think so for sure. When I first heard your stuff, I was like, "This is what I've always wanted in my entire life."
Oh,
That's nice.
A pop punk band with horns in it. It's great.
Corey, you're all we've ever wanted in our
yeah.
lives.
Oh, thank
what
you.
the heck? Where have you
It's true.
been?
I'll be right here.
There we go. Now we know where
Studio
you are.
B at LBC.
That's right. Please don't come here.
Oh, I gotta go.
So you guys have that was your first song, a really hard hitting piece. Your second song is a bit more of a silly song.
Yeah.
Sillier song. Tell me about it. Yellow Moose.
Xander,
Pop. I would say it's a poppier tune. It's called Yellow Moose. Again, we just we would take these working titles and then just roll with them. Sam
where
just
they come from.
Sam would just name his idea files these kind of ridiculous things, and but oftentimes that just became the lyrical basis for some of them.
This one was like not even the basis. Like we knew what it was going to be about. And I remember we were in my kitchen one day. Like we did this. We wrote the lyrics and melody to Yellow Moose in my kitchen in like 3 hours total. We just that was the easiest one. It was great. But
Put Yellow Moose.
we put
in
yellow.
the lyrics.
Yes, because it just happened to be okay.
He said, "Oh, let me just."
It works, right?
It's
Maybe
true, I like
you tell us. Do you like it or do you not?
I think it works because it ends up like the song is very much about like being different and having diversity and like accepting that about yourself and finding where you belong. And it's kind of like, I don't know, yellow moose is such a ridiculous like out there term that it's like, okay, but it's different and there's a place for it. So it kind of, I think it works.
Yeah, yellow moose, you're always what you've always been. Like you are a yellow moose, which is
the most ridiculous thing out there.
But
never seen that.
That's
you
what
imagine.
you are, and that's okay, and we love it.
Yeah, exactly. Embrace the fact that you are unique is pretty much the idea of this song.
With that said, this is Yellow Moose by the Big Fat Meanies. And that was Yellow Moose from the Big Fat Meanies. You guys went on tour recently. Tell me about that.
We did. Oh, what?
Dead air. As we look at each other, there's three of us over
no.
here, and we're just staring at each other. You tell the stories.
It was an interesting experience to plan.
Yeah. How'd you guys
to say
go
the
about
least.
that? Or when did you guys do it? Well, to give everybody a frame of reference.
So we went on tour
Yeah.
up to Boston. Just like we say tour, but it was like a weekender, you know.
It was,
Oh, okay.
Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day
weekend. in
Yeah,
September.
so September 1st through 5th, I believe.
Of this year? Well, not this year. Duh.
Of last
September, yeah.
2022,
We are
yeah.
actually time travelers. We know the streams before they happen. That would be nice.
It would be
Really
nice. It
nice.
would be nice.
Yeah, so we did that. We played at Khyber's in Philly. And then we played
Young Ethel's.
Young
in
Ethel's in Brooklyn. And then
Loved
we
it
played
there.
the Turkey Temple.
Turkey Temple.
Near Berkeley in
Yeah.
Boston, which was so cool. And then we had a free day to explore and do things, which was awesome. Like, it was really great to like hang out
Yeah.
because we're all so busy all the time that we see each other every week at rehearsal and stuff and for shows, but like all being in the same place hanging out was really, really cool.
And we really like each other.
It's good.
We do.
We really have a great time. We love each other so much.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah, it's-
really close.
It's kind of cool that it's like this is like to an extent work,
Right.
because we're doing this kind of not quite for a living, but getting
Yeah.
there. We're doing it seriously, and it never feels like too stressful or too
It's not forced.
too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we get to do it with each other, and then it's also like when we don't have to focus on that right away, we all still kind of want to hang out with each other,
That's
Yeah.
good.
which is nice.
Yeah.
So do you ever guys want to do any kind of circuits or any kind of other tours? What is one of your, if you have a venue you would want to perform at, where is it?
Oh boy.
Want to go around?
Let's go
You
around.
have an answer for this.
I have an
right?
answer.
Yeah.
All right, then go.
Union Transfer, Philadelphia.
Oh, that would be sick.
I love that venue. I love Philadelphia. I'm from right outside Philly, Delaware County. So Union Transfer is awesome. And there's a lot of like our home venue, Phantom Power,
Right.
is kind of based on the Union Transfer with like the horseshoe balcony
Oh,
and
is it
everything. Like,
really?
yeah, it's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I would just love to play there. I mean, obviously, would love to headline, but like even opening for
Right,
you know,
right.
like it'd be so sick.
Yeah.
What a great spot.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
have
A dream venue.
a dream venue. I would like. What's the huge one in the Rockies? That like
Red
it's,
Rocks?
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
That would be
Oh, we're
Let's
crazy.
just get huge and
That's
play
right.
there. That'd be sick.
I don't know what I would do with all
Yeah.
that space.
And this,
You jam out. That's
we
what you do.
never have space. We
Oh,
are so many people.
oh, but when we do,
But when
It's
we have
so
we
space
use
on
it.
stage,
It's so fun.
we use it. So,
I was going to say for the Roots and Blues, you guys only had, what was it? Well, you guys were at Tell Us, right?
no, we were at the
at the Holiday
Holiday Inn. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
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 yeah.
Mhm.
It's really great.
Hotel Motel.
Yeah.
yeah.
We make it work though. just
Yeah, we
like-
were on the ballroom floor for that one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually end up whacking on. It's always Sam's guitar. I'll
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know, like throw my arms around and I like whack his guitar and I'm like, oh my god, is it out of tune now? I get so stressed.
I broke it.
But we make it work.
Well, and you guys have like such cool setup too, because I know you have like a pedal board for your bass clarinet.
Yeah, all of our horns have pedal boards. Actually,
That's
we
so
all
sick.
use piezo barrel pickups from this company in Australia, and they're drilled into our mouthpieces or necks or whatever. So we're essentially DI instruments now.
Wow.
And we use pedal boards to like get the sound we want right off the bat. You know, like EQ and gate, so we don't have a bunch of like shh or.
Oh,
You know, while we're playing. Yeah, you're welcome.
That was
That was
nice.
for
Noise.
free.
That was for free.
For free? But yeah, and then like obviously with that we're like, oh well, if I'm taking a solo, I'm gonna make it sound like a synth demon.
Right.
Duh.
Why not?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, we have some cool stuff. Like Jason has the pitchfork, which is
Mm.
incredible. Nicole has a wah pedal. I have my
A wah pedal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wah pedal
It
for
sounds
trumpet.
sick
It's
For
so
trumpet.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's the coolest.
Yeah, if you're curious, you can go over to our social media pages and go to our old TikToks, and you'll find us at NAMM this past year, so the National Association of Music Merchants Conference in Anaheim. We got to go out there, this past year, first time traveling on a plane together. Also
Mhm.
very
wow. Yeah, it
fun.
was-
That one
Yeah.
was very fun too. And
Yeah.
we were cramped. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many
It was
stories there.
something.
But anyways, you can go back and they would, so the horns would all go out onto the exhibition floor.
Yeah,
and
the
just-
guitar side.
Yeah, the guitar side for all the pedals. And of course, that attracted a good amount of attention because people weren't expecting, trumpet
Yeah.
players and bass clarinet players to come through. And
Rick was famous.
It was
Yeah, play the
crazy.
pedals.
I like remember playing at this one place, and like normally when I play, especially if I'm like testing new things, I play with my eyes closed just so I can like do the whole like
In tune,
focusing.
yep.
Yeah, And I remember playing and like whatever distortion pedal or something, and I opened my eyes and there were just a crowd around me. I was like, oh my god,
And
it was,
they were
it was
all
like
my
jarring. No, I was like, oh god. Yeah, that was
It's sad.
kind of weird.
Mhm.
They're like, no, keep going. I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah,
no,
Rick-
no,
Rick
no,
Keep
made-
practicing. We love it.
Rick made a lot of friends.
yeah, it's true.
Hi,
It's
guys.
true.
I just want to say, yeah, with your bass clarinet, you surely have to have a lot of people. What in the world is that?
Oh,
Exactly.
everyone
Every
thinks
show.
it's a saxophone
Yeah, it's
or
just-
an oboe, which I
I
What?
love. Sometimes they'll just ask the crowd and be like, "What do you all think this is?"
Yeah.
yeah, that's why everyone's like, "What instrument is that?" I'm like, what do you think it is? And then I swear, now it's on record. I'm gonna print stickers that say #not a saxophone. I'm just
I like
gonna
that.
throw them at people that get it wrong.
That's a great idea.
What gets me though is that in a lot of our TikToks that feature Rick, it automatically, like, I think it just uses artificial intelligence to create like some sort of search suggestion based on each
Yeah.
video. And every time his bass clarinet is in it, it says, "Do you want more videos on bass saxophone?"
It's not there is a bass saxophone. It's awesome. This guy Michael
It's-
Wilbur plays it. It's so good. A lot of people play it, but Mike Wilbur's just the first one that comes to mind
Goat.
because he's like really killing it right now. Yeah, it's just a big saxophone. I play bass clarinet.
Big saxophone.
If I had the money to afford a bass saxophone,
You'd have
I
it.
would buy another bass clarinet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Probably. Because
fair.
that's what I play.
Right. That's awesome. So, speaking of like inspirations for you guys, what are some of the people that inspired you guys, for like music wise?
Oh man. I always wanted to sing like Christina Aguilera.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense.
Man, like just the belting, the crazy
Mhm.
belting. I was always like a huge Beyonce fan who is such a technically perfect singer and can riff like nothing I've ever heard. But I don't give enough credit to how big an influence Demi Lovato was
Yes.
on my childhood. Holy mother of God. Wow. I go back to her like early discography and I'm just like, yeah, this is what I wanted to sound like all the time. So
That's my jam. That's my jam. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's my. She
Mhm.
did that.
I got to see her in concert in October and she
Ooh.
did like Don't Forget and La La Land and
Mhm.
Remember December. I was like, oh my God, like just crying. Yeah, she was probably my biggest influence, I would say, vocally.
Will you, Xander?
Me, sorry. So I, again, in the formative years, I'm guessing around the same time as Brenna, really, I mean, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. I still can't speak highly enough about those groups and how much they meant to me at that time. So yeah, shrieking high vocals. I can't quite get there, but it's still more comfortable
pretty
to sing up in that register than down low. But yeah, I would say I always wanted to do pop punk.
How about you, Rick?
So I'm sure you're all aware that there are a ton of bass clarinetists in
Oh,
rock bands.
absolutely.
My mom's favorite bands were Journey and Foreigner, and my dad's favorite bands were Kansas and Yes. So
Oh.
I remember being in the car with them as a wee lad, if you can imagine that now, as a wee lad listening to like the Ultimate Kansas compilation, like cassette tape, and I knew which side was my favorite and everything, like with my dad and stuff. So honestly, I attribute a lot of my influence to Kansas being this one of the first like prog rock bands with a violin player and
Right.
stuff. And like their biggest song is Carry On Wayward Son, and it doesn't have a violin, and I'm so sad about it.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm actually seeing them in I think June. I think it's June.
You see them? I
Did
swear.
you see
Yeah,
Yes when they came over here?
No, and I'm so sad because they played Drama in full,
I
and that's
know,
my
yeah.
favorite record. I was so mad. I found out the night it was happening. I was like, so sad. But no, yeah, my dad and I, it's kind of like our thing. Like they'll come around, and my dad will go. I think he's seen them like probably, like at this point, I'm gonna say like 16 or 17 times. I've seen them probably, I think 4. This will be my 5th. And every time I see them, they just keep on getting better. I'm like, and it's so great. Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I was in a practically a Muse cover band when I was in high school. So yeah, Muse was a big influence too.
Yeah.
And that kind of comes out in our music sometimes
yeah.
too.
Well, I was gonna say a melting pot of all of those influences can be definitely seen in "Tranquil Tension," our next final song we're gonna play.
Yeah.
Tell me about this song, 'cause this, for those who don't know, this is my favorite song of all time, from you guys at least for sure.
Oh,
But it's up there. It's like
nice.
it's like it's in my playlist right after Michael Bublé's "Feeling Good." So
Show
nice.
us the Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah. So this one, again, Sam showed us this idea and showed us the big drop that you'll hear at the intro. And we all just immediately, we actually have this game where we play each other's songs, and if we make a stank face, I'm trying to show off for the camera. Yeah, if we make the stank face, immediately we were all stank facing in the room.
Yeah.
So we all immediately connected to this rhythm line that he had set out. And then it was sometimes, again, like I said, I'll just run with melody stuff, and the song just comes out. And this was one of those songs that, the melody just poured out, and Brenna helped steer it in the right direction, and we're really proud of the result. We really, and the name. We got to mention the name.
We have to. Oh,
We have to talk about
Are we-
the
are we
name.
gonna
let's
do
talk
it?
about it.
Yes. Rick?
So we're in the studio recording with these amazing friends and engineers, Jeff McKinnon and Evan Seeberger. And I'm laying on a couch, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, what is this thing? And like, we're like talking about the lyrics and everything, and I'm like, maybe we should just call it this. We should just call it this, because it's like we already put it as a lyric. Maybe we should make it the song title and everything. And it's like Trading Tranquil Tension is the lyric.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we got that because Tranquil Tension was the name of Sam, our lead guitarist, metal band from high school.
Oh,
Speaking of
So-
high school bands,
Yeah, so Sam was in a band, Tranquil Tension, and I'm sure if he's watching or when he watches this, he's going to murder us.
he's cringing so hard
You-
right now.
You were
So,
like,
or-
let's just call it this. And he was like, no.
Yeah. But then he was like, you know
Absolutely
what? It's a better name for a song than a band. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, cool.
Relent.
So we got the seal
yeah.
of approval.
well, with that said, this is Tranquil Tension.
Well, it's hard to breathe on my knees just at the thought of it. It's so unique, so it seems this is the perfect fit. Let's tessellate, recreate. In my veins, I feel thunder lifting me up, holding it down. So tell me, how can I keep from going under? Understand come and get it, you're alone with me. So here we have it, had a feeling this is something more. So strike up a chord. It's not a mistake. So just how much can you take? Let's break till we break. Then we'll stop for a while. So we'll keep on keeping calm till it drives you crazy. So we'll keep on keeping calm till it drives you crazy. I can't breathe on my knees, keeping it in. Kill the lights, set my sights, where to begin? Tessellate, recreate, hesitate. Oh, I thought lift me up, hold it down. Never felt like this before. Be my dream, musing on what could be. Come, there's no need to pretend it's a means to an end. As the world fades away, we can feel this thing out till we say. It's not a mistake. So just how much can you take? Let's break till we break. Then we'll stop for a while. So we'll keep on keeping calm. How can I keep
Yes. That's Tranquil Tension by the Big Fat Meanies. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. I must say, it's just so intricate and it's so like Adam Neely-esque.
Oh, thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw him in
What,
California.
Oh my
Sungazer?
gosh.
Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah. With like the drums and the intricate
Yeah.
the syncopations the syncopations of everything and the tightness of everything too. It's so good.
Thank you.
so much,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
very
Thank you.
much.
Wow, Adam Neely. That's a
Yeah, big compliment.
yeah.
Yeah.
seriously.
Or I was thinking like 8-bit musician or something like that. Have you ever heard of
Sick.
8-bit musician?
I probably at some point I watch a lot of 8-bit music theory.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
that's what I
thinking.
meant.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
thinking.
Theory?
Yeah,
Yeah,
8-bit
dude.
music,
Yeah. That's my bread and butter. I love that.
Oh yeah, we all nerd out over the same thing.
Yeah. So
Ooh, Phrygian, nice. Yeah.
ew, Locrian. So I have some last questions. So I have some last questions I'd like to ask all my guests. What is one of the funniest or worst things that ever happened? And we kind of talked about this when that song was playing. What is one of the funniest or worst things that ever happened to you guys on a gig?
Oh, I don't want to. I don't
The
know.
funniest or worst? So many bad things have happened to us.
I'll say personally for me, one of the worst things was we were playing a show at an unnamed venue because I don't want to be that guy.
Of course.
And this was before I had the pickup. It was before I had a wireless system that I had mics on my bass clarinet. So I just needed 2 microphones, because my instrument's like 3.5 feet long or something. So if
It's
I
giant.
play an E, the sound comes out of the holes and like
And down there.
yeah, it's how physics works. So I was like, oh yeah, I need 2 microphones, and they were like, oh, like 2 microphones, you're compensating for something, and I'm like, yeah, the fact that
there's
need
3
the-
feet
yeah,
between.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a sound check, and I was like, yeah, just as long as line check, like we bring it out and everything, and we go on, and there was just 1 microphone, and I was like, hi, excuse me, where's my second mic? And they were like, oh, we thought you were joking. I'm like, no. And they're like, well, your bell is right there. I'm like, yeah, but if I play this note, then it comes out of here. And they were like, well, you better be the best bass clarinetist I've ever heard. And I was like, how many have you heard? Like, I'm sure I'm not if you heard more, but like, what? Yeah, so that was, for me, one of the worst things. I was just like, oh my God. So that set me on my quest to just be like, give me an XLR.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
call it a day.
Yeah.
Make it
like,
as simple as
my
possible.
pedal board's already set up. I already have a DI box. Everything's set. I'm just like, just give me an XLR.
Yeah, for this sound, guys, always trust your musicians more than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we've been, I was just gonna say we've been yelled at by quite
Yeah.
a few of
Mhm.
them.
and
They've not been happy with us.
and we've tried to simplify our. I mean, we're 8 pieces with a
Yeah.
bunch of complicated instruments and
Yeah.
tracks and everything. So we've tried to really simplify the process as much as possible for our sound guys. Sound guys, we love you.
We do.
So any-
Also, I was gonna say something funny. So when we play Voyager, we we dance. Just when we just start just swaying side to side, and we played Second Street.
Second Street Festival
Fest
in
Philly.
Philadelphia. Yeah.
And the stage was like built in the middle of the street. It was so sick. It was such a fun festival to play. But when we started dancing, we moved to the right, and so did the stage. And we were like, "Oh, we can't really move during this, can we?" Thought the whole thing was about to collapse.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
scary.
It was scary. I'm pretty sure like a bunch of people's gear was like underneath the
Yeah.
stage
Oh,
too. We're like,
no.
we are gonna break
And it was up
everyone's
high.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like it was a
Yeah,
high,
it was high.
stage.
I think it was probably like 5 feet above the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's higher.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, we could tell that this was not very structurally sound. So we
everyone's
did one, and then and probably the second one, and we were like, oh,
Never mind.
it's like when everyone's soul leaves their body. Right?
yes, exactly. We looked at each other. And,
It's like stop.
Yep. We're
Yeah.
just like, no more dancing.
Yeah, crazy.
So, another question: what is one of the best pieces of advice that you can give other musicians, especially you as a teacher? What do you think?
Oh man. Other musicians, like in general, like life advice
Like-
as a musician, or specifically with relating to playing in a band?
Yes, that one.
Oh yeah,
Playing in a
specifically playing in a band. I guess this is also life advice. I would say trust your ensemble. You know, trust the band that you're playing with, and stuff like that. Like, there's so much love and trust in our band and everything. It's like, I mean, I know that like if I am like not on my game like that day or something, like just going to play with the band will make me feel better and stuff. Like, but like if we're worried about a show or something, it's like, no, why am I worried? Like these guys got it. They're amazing. Like, you know.
Yeah. To add on to that, just generally like compromise with your bandmates. Don't, assume that what you have to say is the best way. I just like heard so many horror stories of people in bands that like one person isn't giving and they're like, well, this is what I want to do. This is my vision. Just trusting the people that you play with and learning to work with them and to compromise is always the best route. It always works out best for everybody.
And I'll add on to that. Do what's best for a song.
yes,
Mhm.
Right?
yes,
Absolutely.
Everything's for the purpose of the song, not for you or anything else. It's for the song.
yes. Does
Mhm.
it serve the song is our primary driver when we're trying to make decisions
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
That and just generally working with the people, like, giving up a little bit of yourself or your time is always going to help you
course.
in the long run.
Don't suck.
That's another thing.
Practice.
Best
Practice,
advice.
yes. Practice.
One of the best things my teacher ever told me was a quote from someone else that she heard. She said, "It's not fun to suck," and that has stuck with me for so long, because the reasoning or like the logic behind it is like, it's not fun to suck. Like when you don't play well, you don't have a good time. Like you don't want to go to the gig and be like, oh, I don't know any of my notes. What the heck? Other people don't want to listen to you not know your notes or like
or
your
try to figure it
lyrics
out
or whatever. Like yeah, and it's like it's just generally not a good time. So like, it's not fun to suck can be reframed as like practice, know yourself, know what you need to work on, know your strengths and weaknesses, and do your best.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
exactly that. No, I was.
I got you.
I was kind of joking, but that's that's the educator in the room really popping off over here. But yeah, I think I used to get so nervous. I used to have the worst stage fright.
Same.
Like when Brenna and I were in a commercial ensemble in Millersville, because we all went to Millersville University here in Lancaster, and all did the music program there. But anyways, I just remember performing. I never felt confident at that point on guitar, and performing as a guitarist, quote unquote. And until I joined this group and had such a supportive system and people that like Rick said, people that that you can fall back on and rely on no matter what. So yeah, I've really never felt that in this group unless we've had like things that we're all nervous about because they're high profile gigs or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just so kind. That's every member of the band is just so kind to each other, and sometimes it feels so different than like just being nice. Like it's a lot
authentic.
of genuine love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Where can people find you guys?
Ooh, you can find us on Instagram at Big Fat Meanies. Not on Twitter. No Twitter. Sorry, Elon. You can find us on TikTok at Big Fat Meanies. You can find us on Facebook, Big Fat Meanies. You can find our website, bigfatmeanies.com.
Noticing a trend.
Yes.
Exactly. And you can find us on Venmo at Big Fat Meanies. Ha ha ha.
Nice.
Yeah, and of course, Spotify, Apple Music. We are on all the major streaming platforms, and we love you and appreciate you.
And this has been a lot of fun, guys. I'm really excited for what you guys have in store because you guys got things and stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things and stuff
in the works.
So stay tuned for that. If you want to go out to the show, go out to their website. It'll be there. And on Instagram, I'm sure it'll be all out there. This is the Story Podcast. My name is Corey Rosen. You can find all of our stuff and all of my stuff on CoreyRosenProductions.com. That's CORYROSEN Productions.com, where you can find more about me, the people that I have on the show, and everything else that I do. Tomorrow we have on Cody Tyler. He's a local country guy from around here. And Tuesday we have David Gates. He is another local singer-songwriter from around the area. This Saturday we have Kevin Gannon on again. He is a runner of a nonprofit called Musicians Bedside Manor, where they have musicians go out to nursing homes to people who can't hear music, and they perform music there. So it's really nice and really, really great. And then not this Sunday, but next Sunday we have another Cody Ross Smith, another country kid. So running a theme over this next week. So with all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.